Now let's walk through the process of building a Prismacolor colored pencil, a preferred product of artists worldwide. Up to 150 different colors are made in Prismacolor Premier. We make up to 1 million Prismacolor pencils each day. The process to make a Prismacolor colored pencil starts in the mixing room. Great care is taken to measure out the correct amount of each raw ingredient using recipe cards of each of the colors and types of pencils. Multiple raw materials and colorants are mixed together inside of industrial-type machines that were designed exclusively for this product. We custom blend 3 types of wax to create a pencil with a smooth, buttery laydown. Only the highest quality pigments are used in Prismacolor pencils, and that is what distinguishes Prismacolor from student-grade and children's coloring products. These mixers will run 6 to 8 hours depending on the products that are being made. The mixture is only removed from the machine after it has passed a series of quality and color match tests. Once the mix is ready, it is moved to an extruder where the cores are formed to the correct diameter and length. Different size dies are used to ensure the core diameter is correct, and to change the core size depending on whether we're making Premier soft core pencils, very thin pencils, or scholar pencils. Extruded cores are measured and then placed into custom-made drying machines, which allow the material to properly cure. This process can take up to 5 days. Before the cores are removed from the dryers, another series of quality checks are performed to ensure that they meet the company's strict quality standards. Cores are cut to length and then placed in the boxes and stored on a rack where they can now be used for production. High-quality basswood is used for the pencil slats. Grooves are cut into the wood slats, and the cores are placed in the grooves. The slats are glued together to make a sandwich and then fed to a clamping drying station. Sandwiches will dry for approximately 45 minutes before they are passed on to the cutting and shaping process. Once the sandwich is dry, the pencil sandwiches are shaped by sanding discs to form the cylinders that are the pencils. Pencils are then fed through a series of paint pots to get the exact finish that matches the color of the core. Several coats of paint are applied to get just the right finish. The pencils move among conveyors between paint stations to allow each coat of paint to properly dry. At the end of the production line, the pencil ends are sanded smooth and the pencil identification is stamped on. The pencils will go through another set of quality inspections before being passed to the packaging department. Pencils are pulled from this rack as needed to build pencil trays that will eventually go into the finished products. The entire pencil process can take up to 15 days. From there, they will be put in the final packaged configuration and delivered to a store near you. NEWELL brand's paper-made Flair pen is crafted through the assembly of a number of components that are molded, stamped, and extruded in separate upstream process steps. The components are assembled and filled with a lifeblood of the product, the paper-made Flair ink, which is mixed and quality tested in the NEWELL brand's Liquid Manufacturing and Technology Center. The paper-made Flair pen assembly process starts with a sub-assembly of the pen cap. An automated assembly machine feeds the cap housing through a feeder bowl in order to correctly orient the part of the next steps, which secure the metal clip to cap housing and the insertion of the cap seal. The output from this first machine in the assembly sequence is a complete cap, which is transferred over to a feeding bin in the final assembly line. The next process step begins on another assembly chassis in the cell, which introduces the barrel of the Flair pen into the station that applies the well-recognized paper-made Flair foil graphic imprint. The artwork is stamped with a chrome foil onto the barrel surface by metal dies through pressure and heat transfer. The assembly equipment transfers the decorated barrel into the next station, where the ink reservoir is inserted and filled with one of the many colors of available Flair inks by a set of needles that are connected to a metered pumping station. The machine feeds and presses the ferrule onto the barrel in the next steps, followed by the insertion and proper fitting of the writing point. The final stage of the assembly process is the fitting of the cap sub-assembly, which was built in the upstream process. The assembly line ejects the completed Flair pen onto a conveyor, where an operator inspects the pens for visual quality aspects, and then loads the pens into a bulk box of 1,000 pens for preparation of a separate packaging process. Depending on the required packout, the Flair pens can be packaged into a 12-count open stock box directly off the end of the conveyor, or can be transferred via the bulk boxes to a variety of packaging cells. We have the capability to convert the bulk pens into blister packs or an endless variety of assorted packages, such as a 32-count wallet, or as shown here, the 14-count coloring kit. As the finished packages are completed, they are prepared to be sent to our distribution center, where they will be processed and shipped out to our customers.